Hi, it's Mark, the Family Woodworker. This week we highlight the amazing amount of woodworking needed to support not one, but two alternating Broadway shows on the same stage on alternating nights. Plenty of woodshop magic was required too, with hidden passages, rotating stages, and in-show surprises. Stick around for the tour. Every new show at our community theater requires a completely different stage build, including larger rolling props like this drum-shaped riser for a circus ringmaster, and even some magic tricks like this disappearing human in a trunk gag that was used in a recent performance of another Broadway play, Pippin. After constructing an open hidden base, you tip the trunk forward to show that it's empty, tip it back, and it opens up to a hidden compartment for the actor to pop up. This time around, we're supporting two separate plays with very different staging needs, including a surprise-filled apartment scene for one show and a really heavy-duty set of constructed stairs and 8-foot-tall platforms that can safely support a bunch of actors for the second show. To start, we needed to build 10-foot walls for the apartment set of Drowsy Chaperone. It's not as well known of a Broadway play, but it won 5 Tony Awards during its run. Our fake walls will consist of 4x8 foot sections of 1x4 pine skinned with a sheet of 1/8 inch thick Luan, and those will be extended to a 10-foot height with another 2-foot section all screwed and taped together. They get supported at the back by these angled buttresses and are surprisingly rigid once all the pieces are screwed together and down to the stage floor. The mismatched paint job on the front of the walls will get taken care of by our artistic paint specialist, and it will be transformed into a neutral textured finish. There are 2 engineered wall surprises that reveal themselves during the show. First is a seemingly boring bookcase, except that it's designed to roll out of the way for a surprise entrance. At the back of the bookshelf, we've designed a trolley system to keep the shelf rolling in a straight line. With a fast-appearing bed frame, it closes back up pretty quickly and the show rolls on. The second dual-purpose prop on stage is the transforming refrigerator. The door opens to reveal basic shelves and some food items, but can just as easily be used as another surprise entrance for actors on stage. Behind the scenes, this is another rolling shelf system that fills the gap as soon as the actor steps through the door. It's kind of a cheesy but a funny gag during the show. The finished set looks pretty great, especially from the audience's point of view, and this production by The Friction Theater was amazing as well, with really great performances by everyone. Still photography courtesy of Joe Madison. See more great content at themadisons.co. For Shakespeare's Midsummer Night's Dream, the set took on a more modern look, with the same apartment layout replacing a royal court setting, and in our case, a complex set of nightclub platforms replacing a mystical forest. A big stage is going to require a beefy build. I think we own the local market on 3/8 inch carriage bolts, as they'll be holding our doubled up 2x4 risers to the 3/4 inch plywood platforms. These massive steps were all individually built, stacked, and then bolted together to allow for safe jumping, dancing, or whatever the director had in mind for staging on those stairs. They rise up 4 feet to a series of 4x8 foot heavy plywood platforms, also set up to accommodate multiple actors and any type of movement that the show would need. Once all the pieces were aligned from stairs to the top platform, everything was bolted and screwed together. On both ends of that elevated stage, another set of 8-foot tall risers were constructed to accommodate more elevated staging options for the actors as they moved across the set. The taller 8-foot platform required even more beef on the 2x4 corner posts to make sure that they would withstand both vertical and lateral stresses from active movement on the set. Even the steps leading from the lower platform to the top of each riser were constructed with welded steel components and then bolted to the top of the platform, adding more rigidity and a safe feel for the performers that they need during the show. Nobody really wants to worry about the stage or the props falling apart when performing live, so everything is intentionally overbuilt. Our artistic painting specialist did a great job on this backdrop, adding the look of vertical neon stripes, while our woodworking crew constructed a huge backlit moon, which was a key element from the original Midsummer Night's Dream forest scene. Behind the stairs and 4-foot platform, additional colored lighting was arranged to shine through white fabric that covered the front of the platform. Other elements were added to the dance club vibe, like these fake prison bars made out of electrical conduit pipe and a dance hall girl backdrop hanging inside each 8-foot riser. 2 other fun set pieces were also needed for the story, starting with this flamboyant, you might even say gaudy, love seat, perfect for a colorful dance club. More magic woodworking here too, as the entire piece of furniture is constructed with cheap half-inch plywood connecting at the corners to make legs, and some fake French curve armrests we built with scrap pine spacers. Once our costume designer uncovered some pretty wild, colorful fabric, it was all wrapped and then stapled over foam, and our painting specialist covered up the cheesy plywood from there. Finished, and from a distance, it looks like a real piece of furniture, though it would never be a bestseller at IKEA, and most likely called something like a hugud. I'll let you look that one up in Swedish. The other custom build was a rolling bar cart, again made out of super high-end materials like construction-grade plywood, wooden blocks and steel bar stock forming the back rails, and some fancy table saw cuts making working tracks for hanging glassware. There's even a scalloped bottle storage rack on the lower shelf to add a little bit more fakery, and of course some paint to make it all look presentable. Sadly, this construction is only going to last as long as the performance, and I'll be relegated back to the scrap wood bin after the show ends. All this cool stage design usually starts as an idea and a pretty basic drawing like for our bar cart. So let's meet the guy responsible. So I'm here with Brian Groth. He's the technical director for the Midland Center Stage Theater. And while I was kind of going over the set, both sides of the set actually, I keep thinking about Shakespeare being a representation of old English countrysides or mansions of the aristocracy. Mm-hmm. So can you describe how you came up with this design idea for this ambitious two-sided set, set in a more modern era?
Absolutely. This really was the manifestation of the director's vision. She had a very strong vision for how she wanted to portray the story of A Midsummer Night's Dream. And so it starts in sort of a 90s apartment that we're sitting in now, and then when they go to the woods and the whole set transforms to that area, it turns into a 90s dance club. So complete with lights everywhere and fog machines and all kinds of crazy stuff going on. So it was her vision to take the concept and the story and all the interaction between these actors and put it in a context that would be more relatable to an audience of today versus back in Shakespeare time. It's been pretty successful. We've had a good run, and the audiences seem to really enjoy it.
Yeah, I saw the shows as well, and they're great. So thanks for your time.
Absolutely.
The all-volunteer cast for Midsummer Night's Dream did a wonderful job on stage, and the audience really loved the performance. More great still photos here, too, from Joe Madison. Be sure to check out his website for more. Now that we've covered the glamour of the on-stage set design, we've got to go backstage, too, because it's usually a disaster during a show running. Our woodshop turns into a prop storage area where old set design pieces and painted backdrops get recycled for another future performance. Our prop room is filled with old tech and glassware, books and baskets, suitcases, umbrellas, and artwork. The costume shop is stuffed to the brim with fabric and period costumes, suits and more suits, dresses and more dresses, all waiting for the next performance. This week is Teardown Week, where both sets on stage are going to get unbolted and disassembled, saved and stored for the next apartment scene or for when the director needs more elevated platforms. But much like a bad commercial for a going out of business sale, everything must go.
Oh, everything must go. Everything!
Hey everybody, thanks for watching our non-standard woodshop video. We don't ask for donations or charge for viewing, so your thumbs up and a subscription to our channel really help us out. Take care.